Welcome back. We are here at the Ain't Hard to Tell podcast, episode 32. The podcast just started and Brian is laughing already.
This is the second straight episode.
Yeah.
Because we're looking for...
Yeah, you got to stop now. Can't be 3 in a row.
I'm gonna right before we introduce our guests, I'm gonna explain this right now. One, the reason why I'm wearing all my Eevee gear is because there's a new Pokemon game announced that's gonna come down in November. We were talking about video games earlier. On the Nintendo Switch, which I'm going to buy in the summer in anticipation of that.
I want to get one of those too.
Yeah, I want a Nintendo Switch too, just not for that game.
So I'm
playing
repping.
on damn Pokemon.
I'm repping. All right, I'm being an ultra nerd right now. Also, we're looking for famous number 32s because this is number 32.
Episode number 32.
Yes. You said
First 32 that comes to mind, Magic Johnson.
Matt
said,
Carmelo.
of course he did.
Yeah, of course he did because he's a Utah Jazz fan. Like
And
a
Brian
legitimate
said-
Utah Jazz fan. I said Steven Matz, and then when I was looking up number 32s, famous number 32s, I'd laugh because I came on O.J. Simpson.
Story of OJ.
Yeah. And not that I find that funny, but it was just like of all the people that I could turn to at that moment.
It's funny, we all forgot about him. But anyway, it is episode number 32. We have a guest with us today.
Yes.
This is our second professional athlete to be here on the show, if I'm not mistaken. Second, and also basketball player.
Yes.
Tyreek Jewell, pro basketball player and Nike model. Tyreek, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be here.
How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Good?
You know, it's a lot of stuff going on. Like you said, basketball and Nike. You know, it's a great experience.
All right, man. Basketball and Nike. For people who don't know you, take us through your background, where you're from, growing up in basketball, your path through college, and where it's taking you professionally.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn. I grew up in the Bronx.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I started playing basketball.
The first part was good.
That's his line for people from the Bronx.
Yeah, I started playing basketball in Manhattan. So, man, I usually say I'm just from New York City, but
damn, so you don't even want to rep the Bronx.
man, it's not. It's because it goes both ways. When I was coming from high school and then going to college, people were like, is he from Brooklyn or the Bronx? Like my friends used to try to clown me about it a little bit on social media. Like, you don't know where you from.
Damn.
It's like, man, it is what it is. But yeah, I grew up playing basketball in Manhattan. My uncles in 93rd and First.
Okay.
And then my high school was leadership and public service. We didn't even have a gym, so it was nothing to talk about. But that was in Wall Street. I was on Wall Street.
That's right.
So from there, just grinding, working out outside, practicing outside, and then I wound up playing in the tournament. And it was a coach by the name of Brian Hodgson. Shout out to him. He gave me a scholarship offer, my only scholarship offer.
So you had no looks for the majority going through.
I had no looks in high school. Like probably my senior years was when people actually started to notice. I guess from me being on probably top 10 in scoring PSAL at that point, my basketball career. So I think that's kind of where it was like a little buzz.
Leadership was a B. Was that a B?
Yeah,
school?
B division.
Right.
B3 at that.
And it's hard. It's hard coming from when you play at a B school. It's a small school. You don't get a lot of looks.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of fans that come.
You get a lot of fans to the game.
Yeah.
I played B division PSA ball, so I remember it's like sometimes your school don't even show it for you. Like people you see at school, like you and the cheerleaders. If you got cheerleaders, that's all right.
Yeah. I mean, it's always a couple people in the crowd that support you. Your mans, they pull up, but the mans pull up. But other than that, it was a cool time, unique time in my life.
So what's that kind of like? Because obviously New York City is very much a basketball city, as we talked about on this podcast before. But a lot of kids come up and they have like certain aspirations of like they think that they're going to go to the NBA just because they get to point A, B, C, whatever. And you've gone the route like you've had a very, I guess, unconventional route where you've gone to a B division school, then from there to a junior college, then a small Division I school, and now you're playing professionally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So kind of just take us through that path, and I guess what were your expectations of that going in and coming out of it now? How do you feel?
Yeah, well, like you said, everybody, growing up playing basketball wanted to be in the NBA. So that was definitely the ultimate dream. It still is, honestly.
Still is.
Yeah, but from high school into college, like that time was like I was really leaving my family. So it was a lot of stuff more than basketball. But it was a blessing because to go to college, I didn't really have to pay. I paid to stay in the dorms because it was Division II. But when I got there, I got the feel of everything and actually playing on the team. And then kind of, just filling in. So, like, my first year, I think I was averaging, if I'm not mistaken, 22, I want to say.
And y'all could look that up.
Were you?
I think it was 22, 25 points. Yeah.
What D2 school were you at?
Jamestown Community College.
Jamestown Community
Shout out to James. Man, that's that time. It became a home to me. That's how. So I went up there and did my thing as far as basketball my first year. I made a lot of connections with people like the coaching and the staff that's at the school period, and then it became a family thing. Mm-hmm. But by the time I graduated, I think I was averaging. I went there for 2 years. I was averaging like 20. I know it was averaging like double digits both years. Yeah. So
you're
like
all American, right?
Yeah, I was all American. I won all that stuff, and then I had a scholarship. But the thing was, at that time, I had to graduate, so I had to take like 3 summer classes. So I kind of lost a lot of scholarship offers. But St. Francis coach Glenn Breaker, he told me that whether you pass or not, we want you to come here. We'll work with you. And it was a lot of stuff. Like I had a daughter too at that time in my life, so that's when I came. That's actually when I really committed me to come back. Because I went on a visit. I want to say Missouri, Kansas City. I think it's the UMKC. Yeah. I went to visit, and the campus was dope. Like you know what I'm saying? Like basketball, the arena we played in was like crazy out of this world. It was like an actual arena. So so I'm like, oh, it's lit. The only thing I wasn't really a fan of was it was like Adidas. Everything was Adidas, like sports basketball. You had to wear Adidas.
Did that really sway you? Because I don't think people like seriously when you talk about college recruiting, somebody's like I'm probably with you. I rock with Nike. I'm a Nike head.
Same.
But is that swaying you? Like, oh man, I'm not trying to rock this jersey. And I know you Nike model for Nike, so you ain't gonna say anything positive about anybody else. But this is before Nike was paying you to do anything.
Yeah.
So did that really sway you and say?
Nah, I don't necessarily think it was like a big major fact where it's like, oh y'all, I'm not coming. Y'all gotta do this. Like it was just more so of because I think I'm not really a fan of the sneakers. Don't get me wrong, I wore Adidas in middle school. I wore the Crazy 8s. You know what I'm saying? I played in the Crazy 8s.
I wore a sneaker.
Yeah, but it really was because it had the Crazy 8s got that little design and it matched my jersey. So, but other than that, I wasn't really a fan of Adidas. But when I got here and I seen it was Nike, I'm like, I don't know. I was hyped.
It's like I'm with it.
Yeah, you get sneakers that you want to actually play in.
So you obviously had the All-American career at Jamestown. You went to St. Francis, had some success, almost had a conference championship. Mm-hmm. So as a professional, now that part of it is what a lot of people don't know. Because a lot of, they want to get to the NBA. Mm-hmm. A lot of players go to G League route, formerly the D League, and then they end up going overseas. And you went all the way to Indonesia. You got drafted. So I guess kind of take us through that process and kind of educate maybe young basketball players who are watching or listening, just kind of what that time of your life is like.
Well, at that point, I think that's when I realized I really came to my sense of the odds of making it to NBA, because when you start, getting in the mix with business, you start to see more than, what I'm saying, that people actually show. But I just always had the hope, to, keep grinding. I feel like you'll be noticed. And obviously from my past, I took on things from me going to Jamestown and still getting noticed, to be able to play Division I. And then me coming to St. Francis. But graduating at that point, it was more so of me understanding that I had to, bring myself up to another level as far as my work ethic and actually the way you work out and stuff like that. So that was one of the main factors. But going to Indonesia, it was a vibe because, I was home. I left my mother. So I believe I'm the only one in my family that actually be considered a professional athlete, you know what I'm saying? So just going there, and the flight was 22 hours, so I had a lot of thinking time. You know what I'm saying?
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah,
that's long.
I was like, yo, that's a whole
day. Exactly. So the whole process was crazy, but it was a great experience. When I got there, they had the little media out there, so we come up the plane, they taking pictures. That's the first thing. They got you holding your jersey. Exactly. So it was that type of vibe. And then
you were drafted, right?
Yeah, I got drafted. Yeah. And then that's a whole nother, experience that I can talk about too. But when I got there, the weather was the first thing I noticed because it was hot, nothing less than 80. And it's so I'm the weather's nice. I'm looking around, actually now we driving. They actually go to where we staying at located. I was in Jakarta. Okay. And it was just dope. After the games, the crowd is out there waiting for you to sign and take pictures with them. The arena is packed.
Was that weird for you coming from a collegiate atmosphere where that doesn't happen? I'm sure there was nobody waiting outside of St. Francis to sign.
There was a couple people out there.
Yeah, there's a couple out there.
But my man's and them was out there.
like high school again.
Yeah, my man's is out there.
We can get into that.
When you're going from that to hey, now is people are really passionate about the sport there. It's got to feel good.
Nah, it's an eye opener, honestly.
And you were a star that season you were there.
It was
Like,
it was.
You won a dunk contest.
Yeah.
You were, I think, an All-Star game MVP.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, it was an eye opener. Honestly, it made me really like, cause it kind of like I got to see a glimpse of me when I was, a certain age. Cause out there it's like I feel like a lot of the fans were like younger, probably around my age, maybe a little younger. So to see them kind of like reacting with us, like, cause it was like before the games we'd be warming up outside. You know what I'm saying? Like just stretching as a team. Because it's like games starting before us. So, so it'd be like a tournament. When you travel somewhere, you play like 2 days.
So it's like an AAU kind of setup?
But it's professional. You know what I'm saying? So we out warming up, and then you got the crowd. They sit there and watch you behind the gate and watch you stretch, and everybody warming up, talking to them, dapping them up, whatever the case may be. And then you go inside, now they come to watch you play, and you go in there, it's packed. Like, so like I said, that gave me a glimpse of me, like, trying to reach out to, my favorite players. But I'm in their country. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they go into the arena to watch me play. Yeah. And I kind of embraced that. So every time I got on the court, I just wanted to put on the show.
What was like, because one of the things you could always talk about, you talked about coming from here, taking that 22-hour flight. But once you get to some place like Indonesia, it's a completely different cultural experience.
Oh, yeah.
I think I talked to you about this off camera and off this podcast. But like, what was that like change like for you when adapting to the culture?
It was. I could do it all over again, honestly, and that's how I explain that. But it was a great experience. Like, honestly, I want to say it was almost perfect. Only way I wouldn't say it was perfect because we didn't win the championship.
Right.
But everything, as far as like the vibes and the event, and meeting people and the connection that I had with the players, my teammates, man, shout out to Sasha Muda. Like, it was just dope. Like, I felt like a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at that point, I was. Like, I'm like, I want to have my career here, like, and it was just that vibe. But I also want more for myself too. So,
So you couldn't stay?
I mean, I think I could have. I definitely would have went back another year. I mean, I still would go back another year, obviously with certain different changes, But I go back, but I don't think I would try to stay there for like 3 years and plus maybe I don't know. I always expect more from myself. So
what's it kind of like that period? Because after that you went to Slovakia, right? And what's it kind of like those periods of where you're not playing, but you have to stay in shape, and you're basically a free agent, so you're waiting.
Honestly,
but it's not like as if, I mean, you never know, but like the Lakers aren't calling or the Cavs aren't calling. You know what I mean? Like it's just random sort of teams from like Europe or Asia or wherever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That so sometimes nothing about.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that's the fun part about it, honestly. Like with me, I would say for like people that actually go through these phases, those are probably the days that you're supposed to, be strong the most, like mentally, because you're legit sitting around not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you home and you run a certain environment of people, family, whatever, friends, whatever the case may be, a lot of stuff comes to you like, oh, you need to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but it's like if you actually know what you're doing, you like as far as like investing in yourself, you'll be good at the end of the day. But like at that point, like I said, for me, it was like, yo, get a job. But I knew what I really wanted to focus on. Like, and I'm like I told you, I had my work ethic, I had to boost everything up. So I was just like, whatever happened, like when I get a call, then I just want to be ready. So every day I'm going to the gym, working out, working on my body. You know what I'm saying? And then I also, with the modeling and stuff, it gave me more motivation to work out on my body. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not necessarily really thinking about that contract. That's what I want the most. But I feel like when you really sit here and wait on it to come, it won't come. Or don't come when you expect it, at least. You don't want to put yourself in a phase mentally where it's like, I'm not doing what I want to do. Like sometimes you can't play basketball the whole year. They don't do that in the NBA. They don't play the whole year. You know what I'm saying? You get an off season. So that's what I looked at. That's my off season. Yeah. So I mean, any athlete that you're waiting on a contract, whatever you're going through is your off season. That's your time to grind. Research on yourself, what you can do to better yourself, as far as an athlete and everything.
So Indonesia, Slovakia, excuse me. Not Slovenia, different country.
Very different country.
Very different country.
I think at least.
And you've been modeling for Nike. Now I know a couple of women who've modeled for Nike as far as basketball. Milani Malik, Nikki Avery, who also has done some modeling. I think you might be the first male model that I know modeling.
Shout out to me.
No, you always like to bring up first on the podcast. One of the first male models that I know. Personally modeling for Nike. How did that come about? What's that experience like? Man. And are you walking down the street with like extra swag now? Because
extra swag. Listen, man, I just talking to me about that. It was honestly from like them times when you're in the house, you thinking about what can I do to put myself in a better position. I wound up actually reaching out to Nike, like sending them a whole blueprint of something that I had planned at that time, and which was like probably 2 years ago, and I submitted that to try to become an ambassador for Nike. Try to find ways, who can I talk to, whatever the case may be. Wow. And I kind of forgot about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of forgot about it. Like,
it took a while for them to get back.
No, but it was because I had a connection with somebody and they was sending it to somebody else. Okay. So I wasn't about to, what I'm saying? Like, keep asking, they wrote you back, bro? Like, yeah. So, but now, so I kind of just shipped that off and I low-key forgot about it. But I guess it came back full circle because I got an Instagram DM from somebody like, we want to use you for this campaign. And I also was doing I shot a audition shoot video over here in Stuyvesant. By Stuyvesant. Okay. The basketball courts over there.
Yeah, basketball courts by Chelsea Pier.
Yeah, I had an audition shoot for that and wound up, at the end, it come to find out it was for the same thing that they hit me up for the campaign.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so that kind of solidified me. Yeah, after that it was like I think
you should have told like when they brought you in, you should have been like, yo man, I loved you guys so much that I almost went to the school, but they had Adidas.
But that's the thing. Like, I mean, you'll get like stuff like this, like what I'm saying, like far as podcast. That's when you get to express that. Yeah, that's when you go there, you talk to them. It's like the top person that you probably should be speaking to about it. They may not be in the room at the time. Like that's like me saying that to a stylist. Like, yo, I love work. It's like, oh, okay, like because most of them, the stylists, they don't work for Nike. They be working with them. So they just book some stylists. You know what I'm saying? For the time.
Right.
I want to know more about this DM. Like,
so slide into Tyreek's DM.
But because if I get an Instagram, and this has happened for like business stuff now, because all of these social medias they have DMs.
Oh, I see where you're going. But sometimes you get that message and you're like, "Yo, is this legit?"
Yeah, I'm like, what was the like? What did it have a verified check?
Nah,
was it like,
the dude, he was
like, you look at it and you're like, "Yo, this is an Instagram DM." Like,
just trying to set you up.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Because I said that I'm like, yo, I could have got kidnapped. I should have told you. But it's the thing, like, the dude that actually reached out, I really don't even know his name. Like, I ain't paid attention to. I think he was like a photographer or something like that. I kind of clicked through his page, but
there are a lot of photographers on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. But it was on Facebook, so I mean, I didn't really. I don't know. I just took my chances and went with it, and it happened to, you feel me, be what it was.
So you got lucky. That's what you're saying.
You could say that. You
could say that. You get kidnapped.
Because sometimes
I'm still here.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? Some people get catfish out here.
Definitely. But I mean, but for them to write me on Facebook, that's why I was kind of like skeptical, because emails is professional as far as the Big Ben.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe because now that I'm further into the business, I mean, he could have been like somebody, the director, or he could have came, directly like, I want this kid on the, on the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They could have seen my highlights on YouTube and was like, "Yo, we want him." He sent somebody to come contact me.
That's true. You never know how sometimes these connections come out of the blue. You never know. Things happen like this. Real quick before we go to break, you have also started your own brand.
Oh yeah.
Crown Jewel. We see you putting your clothing out there everywhere. Yeah. We talked a little bit about this. Tell the people about your clothing brand and what you're doing with that.
My clothing brand is actually something that I always wanted to get into. Just going through the phases in life as far as basketball, you get turned around. But I came across the opportunity to actually buy a MacBook when I was in Indonesia for $500 off somebody. Shout outs to her. Because once I got that, I purchased some the apps and the thing and Infinity Designer, and I started messing with that. And then from there, like, it was times when I was like staying up late on a laptop when we have a game. You know what I'm saying? And my shout out to my big bro Arky. He made, you gotta go to bed, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're an athlete. So my mind started wandering that way, and I was like, you know what? That's when, like, because I had somebody in my corner, I was like, I gotta pace myself. So like I said, but in a whole mix of, like, I'm doing it because I have a style, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has the way they dress, but I have a vision to create things that may not been created yet, or you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody in top artist or somebody may wear mine. Chris Brown with my joint in the video. You know what I'm saying? It's so many stuff that can happen because it's creative mind as far as just my personal aspect. So I'm just excited to kind of mix that and collab with whatever I could get out of that.
When did you start?
Excited. Like a year ago. Like, it's crazy. Everything going on legit was like a year and a half after graduating college. All this came in a year and a half, and I'm like, I don't know how, but. I'm embracing it.
You're grinding, man.
Yeah, I'm on the grind.
That's it. You grind, like you said. You grind. You put yourself out there. It'll happen. We're all grinding. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk a little bit more about pro basketball overseas. with Tyreek. We'll talk about the NBA Finals as we're recording this podcast. It'll start tonight. Cavs versus Warriors. You can tell who Tyreek is rooting for. And we'll talk about why Tyreek and I have something in common, and the fact that we are both Russell Westbrook fans, and Brian is not as big of a Russell Westbrook fan.
All right.
We'll get into that.
We also got a video.
And why, and we have some videos to talk about too. A submission, somebody's questioning about.
Oh, they're playing the national anthem. I'm not watching.
We'll talk about that when we come back on the 8 Hard to Tell podcast. What's up, listeners? You know sometimes how it can be hard just to get from point A to point B. Now, when I have to get anywhere and I don't want to deal with the hassle of public transportation, it ain't hard to tell how I get around. I always make sure to use the best car service app in the game. I'm talking about Lyft. Lyft offers rides in minutes. All you have to do is download the Lyft app, request a ride, and you will be on your way quickly. Lyft is all about happy riders and happy drivers. Take a ride with them and you'll see why 9 out of 10 rides end up with a 5-star rating. Lyft always has amazing offers for new customers, and I'm here to tell our listeners about a great offer today. Lyft is currently offering free ride credit to 8 Hard to Tell listeners. If you are new to Lyft, then you are eligible, and getting your credit is easy. All you have to do is download the app and use the promo code AHTTPOD to unlock your free credit today. Ain't hard to tell who has the best car app service, so use the code today and ride out loud with Lyft. The best new sports web series is here. It's from Backpack Broadcasting, and it's called The Sports Walk. The Sports Walk is a series where diverse sports fans take a walk and share their views at the intersection of sports and society. The entire first season is now available on Backpack Broadcasting's YouTube channel and backpackbroadcasting.com. See what other sports fans have to say about a variety of issues in the world of sports. Watch all 13 episodes from season 1 and take the Sports Walk today. All right, we're back. Ain't Hard to Tell podcast, episode 32, the Karl Malone episode to make Matthew Feniza, our producer, smile. We are back. Our guest is Tyreek Jewell, pro basketball player and Nike model and Russell Westbrook fan. I'm going to also add that to your title as well, too. But we are at the NBA Finals. We are here. This is what everybody plays for in the NBA. We're all basketball fans.
I mean, not everybody.
What'd you say?
Not everybody. Some people like money more than the NBA Finals.
Who, the players you talking about?
Some of them maybe.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe. Yeah, you're probably right about that. But the fact that I was talking about we as the fans, we're excited about this too, and we think everybody's playing for this. If we say,
I'm not so sure everybody's excited.
Well, we're gonna get to that. So. Hey, this is the 4th time the Cavs in a row. Excuse me, we want to say that in a row the Cavs and Warriors are playing each other.
First time ever.
First time ever this has happened. 4 times in a row in the finals. We just saw the first time ever in the conference finals. Both went to Game 7 since 1979. Are you excited? That's the thing I've been asking people. Are you excited about seeing this matchup for the 4th time? Some people are excited to see Bron again.
That's why I'm
excited to see the Warriors again.
I was adamant right before you go, Tyreek. I was adamant on this podcast. I was like, I do not want to see Boston in the finals.
Boston?
The Celtics. I did not want to see.
That's one of his favorite places to go in the country. If you couldn't tell the sarcasm in that, then I don't know.
Although I'll go to Fenway again. You want to go to Fenway like we did last year?
Well, on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
that's a whole other story. That's a whole.
Oh, we didn't tell you that story about. Oh man,
that's just a whole other story.
Sounds like a vibe.
Wait till we finish that song.
It's not a vibe. It's not. It's not a vibe.
We went by accident, not by accident.
Not by accident.
It was like we went on purpose.
Why would you go to Fenway Park by accident?
But we went to film an independent wrestling. At an independent wrestling show in Boston, but it was on St. Patrick's Day in Boston while there was a Boston University hockey game on top of that. And this wrestling show was very late. So by the time we got out, it was like 2 a.m. There was still snow on the ground because it was cold like recently. I remember there was this chick.
He's bad about everything.
There was this chick.
Sounds like that, right?
She had a short, and it was cold, and she had a short. I had a jacket on, man. And it was cold. She had a short black. She had a short black. She had a short black dress, and she was walking around barefoot, holding her heels, crying. I remember that.
What about? You weren't with me. What about the girl who was drunk late that night and walked in the snow
Yeah.
Walked in barefoot. She was so drunk. This is now like 1 a.m.
All right.
We were shooting all around the city, getting scenics. That's what Brian's talking about. And we did this shot.
I was waiting in the car.
And we were about to come back to New York, and we just saw a lot of crazy stuff that
crazy.
day. And I'll just say, you really feel like a minority in Boston. I'll leave it at that.
Do you have any stories that kind of rival that, maybe from your time
your
playing
travels?
I mean,
You've traveled a lot.
the weird, the awkward stuff. Maybe when I was in Portland, I didn't realize how maybe it's the area I'm in. But when I went to Portland for a shoot, I seen like a lot of homeless people. It was just like crazy. It was crazy. Like it was a lot.
But you know what,
almost
man?
every corner.
Really?
You know what, man? I've heard that about Portland and other places in the Pacific Northwest. Like San Francisco's like that too. If you ever been out to San Francisco's got they're homeless in San Francisco.
I was lit.
You feel like I like San Francisco too. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just
I don't
saying
think I saw one homeless person.
what in San Francisco.
I don't know about you.
Oh, you were in San Francisco.
Now we was. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Like I said, it could have been a part where I was in Portland, but
yeah.
San Francisco, right? Nah. I ain't
Really?
just-
How
I
was
love San
Maybe
Francisco.
I was enjoying my life too much. Like
I was
Maybe-
gonna
and
say,
I was living my best life to the point where I wasn't looking for no.
Oh, he made it sound like I was looking for homeless people.
No. When I was in Portland, it was legit. Every time you turn a corner, it was like, it was like it made you feel like the dude ran from the other corner. You feel me? And I'm like, it's no way.
Yo, not laughing at homelessness.
Nah,
Just
no.
wanna be clear.
Nah, me feel me? Nah, I'm not.
Yeah, I didn't
Wait,
know.
so how was San Francisco? Like, what
It was just that was a vibe. Like
I love San Francisco.
Yeah,
I like
it was just a
San Francisco
vibe. It's different from like other places. Like I heard like LA is like legit different from San. I've never been to LA.
Yeah.
but-
I've never been to LA.
Yeah, so when I was in, I like felt the San Francisco vibe. Like I just hate the hills. It was too many hills.
A lot of hills in
Yeah.
San Francisco. Yeah, definitely. We're
They
definitely
try
right
to take cabs everywhere, and I'm like, I'm an athlete. I'm walking up this hill.
hills.
Yeah.
Very
There's a lot of hills.
But back to basketball. One of the teams that plays right outside of San Francisco, the Golden State Warriors. They're playing the Cavs again. Tyreek. Brian doesn't sound like he's too
Oh, they play
excited.
tonight.
Yeah,
see?
game one.
This
Oh,
game one,
Man,
this
listen,
right now.
I was trying to contact Braun on Instagram. Like, yo, bro, we need this for a ring.
You're gonna read that July.
No, but
Probably.
about like because what I was saying, my
Yeah.
personal opinion, if the Rockets would have matched up with the Cavs for finals, I felt like Braun, that would have been guaranteed Braun's fourth ring. That's how I felt. But the Warriors
With or without Chris Paul.
I don't know. Chris Paul is tough. I actually met Chris Paul too in high school. Shout out to him. I don't think you remember me, but hey, I met you, bro. But it would have been tougher with Chris Paul. They probably would have been like 4-3 maybe with Chris Paul. They probably would have been
But you
7.
still think Cleveland?
And I
would-
think Cleveland still would have edged it out maybe.
I respect it.
so are you excited for this? Are you giving Cleveland any
I'm always
shot?
excited for basketball, but Kevin Love's back. I just can't go against Braun. Like even though I'm like LeBron's my Michael Jordan of my era. You see what I'm saying? Like because everybody
and
knows.
we come from the same era, so
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
So,
y'all gonna piss off some older people.
no.
You know,
They got their own era. Yeah,
They got Jordan.
I agree with all that. I
Like,
agree with that. Somebody grew up watching Jordan. I agree with all that.
It's not like we said LeBron's better than Jordan, even though
I
he
ain't
is.
know.
No, and if you
See,
feel
no,
that
it's
way,
not. No, it's not.
I baited y'all into that. I baited y'all into that. Don't make me
I
pick
wasn't
on
gonna say that.
y'all.
You heard what I said. He's the best player of out.
Yo, if you're 30 and up, nah.
He's the best player of my era, so he's my Jordan. But Westbrook is my favorite player. But
We'll get into that in a second.
yeah, but I just can't go against Braun for some reason.
So
I
you're
can't.
picking
Steph Curry got a fresh cut.
So your picks, you're picking who?
me being like basketball respectful and understanding the game and how I want to
Nah,
say.
man, be disrespectful.
It'd
All
be
the way
disrespect. Nah, like, I want Braun to win, but the Warriors is tough. Like if Braun wins this chip, from how the players went from him actually carrying the team, and I hate saying
It would be
carrying,
insane.
it would be that I'm using this for he's better than Michael Jordan. I'm
Right.
throwing that on the resume.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna say this.
You would have
That
to.
would be real
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, you can't argue me on
Real
that.
Strong
But-
argument.
And a lot of people are giving him props for just getting here.
I mean,
You know
I
what I
think he
mean?
does
Like,
deserve
I
props.
think he
Yeah.
deserves- even
It's
with
tough.
because
Knock that down.
they barely got through Toronto.
Yeah.
They barely got
Indiana.
through Indiana. Then he
They
swept
destroyed
Toronto,
Toronto.
and then getting
No,
to that
I think
Boston team was
I
tough.
think Tyreek makes good points. I think you do too. I think he definitely deserves credit for being it. So, what's your prediction?
Honestly, I'm gonna say
Okay, we'll do it like this. Your head says what, and your heart says what? 'Cause
my
it's
heart
two
say
different-
Braun 4-1. That's it.
My heart says same thing.
4-2,
I
4-1.
would love to see LeBron
But
do it. You know
in
what I
my
mean? I
head-
feel like it's a much better story.
In my
Like,
head-
Fantastic
I'm
story.
kind of over Golden State, to be honest with you.
In my head, I'm saying 4-2 just because like
4-2 who?
Warriors in my head. But
Okay.
my heart, I want Braun to win. But I'm saying that because of I think in the point where KD is at in his career and his mindset mentally, you got Draymond, the devil on his shoulder. He's not gonna let KD. He's not gonna let KD fade out of the series. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like there's certain players that may fade out of the series, and it was like, oh, they pulled it off, but Draymond's not letting it happen to nobody. And you know what I'm saying? That's what I noticed as far as watching the Warriors. They have a lot of things that help you run over a lot of bumps that you come across in the middle of a game. You know, when you break down the third quarter, you're like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You got Draymond on the edge. You seen the meme with he like this.
Where he's talking to him.
Exactly. He's doing it.
Yeah, so
like I said, as far as being in basketball and understanding basketball and, the pieces they have on the team, even if you're not putting up 30, you got players like that on your team. You got Curry, the potentially the best shooter in the
ever.
Ever.
My opinion.
KD's a damn 6'11" sniper. And he can dribble the ball. Like Klay Thompson don't miss. I mean, and if he does, we still don't care.
I'll ask you this directly before we get into something else. If LeBron pulls this off, if
he's better than Jordan,
and your heart, you're real quick, you're definitively able to say that
because I've been watching LeBron since I was young.
If he pulls this off, what I want you to do is you got to either go on Instagram, you have to go on Twitter, you got to put your flame suit on, and go with it. You got to be like, yo, he's better than Jordan.
Man,
I might do that.
I go viral. We can do that.
I've been dipping my toe in the water.
We can do that.
I'm kind of like,
you can do it.
We can do that. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm coming bronze.
Get your flame suit on.
Everything.
Yeah,
Cavs, everything.
I don't want to get off on a tangent.
The lane.
So we talked about the fact of whether or not. Oh, my prediction.
Yeah.
I said Warriors in 5. My head tells me Warriors in 5, but I'm
What
rooting.
do you want?
I want Cavs at 7.
Me too. I'm
wait. Why
exact
7
same
though?
as me.
I want because the last time we got 7 with these two, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Kyrie hit the big shot. LeBron had one of the best
100%.
defensive plays in the finals in his career.
KD was there. KD was.
That was the year before KD came.
See, but that's the big difference.
That's even better. That makes it even better now. I want 7 and LeBron to beat him with KD there. Imagine he slays that giant.
I feel like that would be the better. That would just be the better story.
And I'm gonna make it even crazier for y'all. This is gonna make you guys. You might want to get up out of your seat. I want it in 7 with LeBron hitting a game-winning shot.
So dramatic.
A 35-foot three. Yeah, so dramatic. A 35-foot three to win the finals. I want a Curry-like three. It's got to be wet. Over KD to win the finals.
Quadruple cover.
I'm making it all dramatic.
You want to see the
Klay Thompson here on the left, Steph Curry here.
Look after.
But what's crazy about that whole thing? There'd actually be a way if they'd be in Golden State if that was to happen.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be crazy.
You tell me you don't want that.
I would love that.
I just don't. Man.
I'm talking about as far as me being a Bron fan, that's gonna burn him out, and I don't think it can happen.
Oh, you think he'd be so burnt out?
I think he'd be burnt 7 games with the Warriors. It's tough because it's like after every game they find something to do to kind of come back to make it harder to beat them.
Yeah, it's the NBA Finals, so it's like if you're tired.
No, you got to give it your all.
You ain't
gonna never see Bron. I'm tired, but I'm just saying.
He's saying that. He's saying that, but he knows he's gonna still get 38, 10, and 7.
What the last one did the Celtics? He had 48 minutes when he closed.
He played for 48 minutes. I mean, you gotta be impressed with what this guy's doing and playing all these minutes, carrying his 33
shot, Bron.
It's such. We have the game on actually while we are.
Yeah, that's why I don't get. I mean, I get the hate for him in terms. You're way ahead of me, actually. Yeah. I get the hate for him in terms of level. People were trying to freaking just tear him down just because he's great at what he does, and a lot of Knicks fans hate him because they feel like he cheated them out of going there. When it's why do you like Jordan?
You can't make everybody happy.
Why do you like Jordan more?
Bucket, man.
Why do you like Jordan more? If Jordan was really the obstacle.
Funny you should say that. There was a guy. No, this is funny. A guy in my barbershop yesterday who was actually pro LeBron and is an older dude. He was 40 something, and he's pro LeBron is better than Jordan. Yeah. And he said that nobody loves Jordan like New Yorkers do. And I was like, I don't know about all that.
They really do. It's I
respect dude.
It's they have amnesia of all the ass whoopings they got in the 90s.
He whooped the Knicks' ass consistently and stopped them from winning.
That's the thing.
But it doesn't mean that I can't respect his greatness.
But as LeBron was coming up, The Knicks were never good.
I don't understand a Knicks fan hating LeBron because what, he didn't want to come here in 2010?
Yeah.
The team is trash.
The Knicks fans are no offense. No shout out to all my friends. Knicks
fans.
Offend
them.
But
except
I won't be offended.
Knicks fans.
The Knicks are offensive to me.
We know there's different categories of Knicks fans.
Knicks fans like that annoying ex that's mad that you feel me that this better out there. It's like, why are you mad that I'm trying like how you mad at Braun because you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
I'm not gonna understand. I'm not gonna.
And because he was here in New York when he did it.
I'm not gonna understand them being mad at it.
The worst thing on his resume is a decision. Meanwhile,
I think the hardest thing for the Knicks is that when they get a star, that star wants to be the reason why we win. Like with Melo, he wanted to be there. Bore the headline, smack dead Carmelo. We won because of Carmelo. Yeah. And with that time when he was doing good, when they had Wilson Chandler, Amari, they broke the team up. You see what I'm saying? To get a player that wanted to be the one.
Although I will say this, I would love I've told you about my short list of athletes I really, 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 really want to interview. One of them is Amari Stoudemire because I have a lot of questions for him about that period of the Knicks.
I have some good questions.
That'd be a great interview.
All right, but too much of the Knicks. We've been having people submit some videos with questions about it. We have a question this week coming from my man Tony Chau about the NBA Finals, Conference Finals, and if we were excited for it, if we think the Conference Finals changed the predictability of the NBA.
Hey guys, what's up? So I want to talk some NBA and get your thoughts on something. Lately, the past few years, I've been really down on the NBA. I've been saying, even before this year started, how predictable it is, what we're going to have. LeBron and Golden State, Steph Curry in the finals. And here, just a few weeks ago, we thought, hey, maybe we might actually get something different this year. Conference finals, maybe Houston has a shot, maybe Boston's going to pull off the upset. But what do we have? Same thing as last year, the year before, and the year before that. So what do you think about this year's conference finals? Did they actually change the narrative of the NBA being so predictable that each team got pushed to Game 7? Or does it kind of reaffirm it that, these two teams still ended up there? I want to get your thoughts on that.
All right, Tony. Well, Tony talks a lot about whether we think the conference finals, everybody knew what the outcome was going to be supposedly this year. The Warriors, Cavs, we talked about it a little bit before. Yeah. But the conference finals, as he said, both went 7 games. Mm-hmm. Both of the favored teams were down 3-2. Mm-hmm. Did that change anything for you guys, like Tony asked here in the playoffs? Did it kind of make it better? Even though we got to the same point, did it make it a little bit more exciting or not?
Go first.
I would say, I don't know. Like people just rag on the NBA for just being predictable. And it kind of appears that way because now everyone's kind of, even though some people picked the Rockets to get to the finals, a lot of people are saying like, oh, look, all that happened and we still got here the same way we thought we would. And I don't know. I think people are saying that it hurts the league, and I think that's getting blown out of proportion because these ratings are still going to be monstrous. Like, you could be tired of Golden State and Cleveland all you want, but this was honestly the best case scenario for the league. I think Golden State Cleveland gets a better number than, well, it does get a better number than Boston anything, but it gets a better number than Boston Houston or Cleveland Houston.
Boston Golden State would have done well.
Yeah, but not better than Cleveland.
I agree.
LeBron in the finals is just the best case scenario for the league. And I feel like regardless of what people say, like, yes, the predictability is not great. I feel like at some point you would want some sort of parity like the NFL thinks that they have. But at the same time, it's like you still have the best players on the planet in your best series. Your finals, You know what I mean? You have LeBron, you have Kevin Durant, you have Klay Thompson, you have Steph Curry, you have Draymond Green. Like, you have all these stars. Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, and Nick Young are interesting. Like, you have all these stars still in the game in the finals. And, like, what more could you really ask for? It's only annoying because, yes, this is the 4th straight year. And like I said, I'm kind of over Golden State. But that's just because I'm kind of over Kevin Durant and his fake, like, whatever he's doing. So, come on, man. Come on.
I'm just like, yo, you sound really mad.
I'm just like he's being the fake tough guy. Now that he's in Golden State, he's in a lot more
he just feel that team behind him. He feels that
he got Draymond there.
That's the perks of being on the Warriors. That's why I said they're tough to beat because it's not like they making sure you do. We don't care what you got going on. When you on this court, boy, you want to win this ring. Yeah. That's all that is.
I like Draymond Green. I feel like every team in life, not just in basketball, needs Draymond Green. Even though my brother doesn't like him.
What did you think? Do you feel like the conference finals changed anything for you, or are you happy we got to this place?
Honestly, it was weird. Like when that was going on, it was weird. It was watching the game every other day, so it was like for the playoffs, it was kind of weird. Yeah. And But it was exciting though. Well, before Chris Paul went down, I actually was like, excited for him to actually reach the Western Conference Finals for the first time.
Yeah, me too. I'm a Chris
You see
Paul
what I'm saying?
fan.
Like,
I thought Houston would win if he stayed home.
He would stay. And it's crazy when he pulled his hamstring. I called it because I'm like hamstring, and he's like, nah, he could have cramped. Yeah, all right.
He always gets hurt, man.
And then at the end, you saw James Harden. You saw Chris Paul looking like he's like it's over, bro. Like I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But as far as I don't think it made a difference. And I think it's for the team starting to understand that we don't have to be the number one team. We don't have to wear ourselves out to be the number one team
in this
going into the play. You see what I'm saying? The Warriors, they didn't have to, when it matched their 73, what was it, 73?
73 wins, 69 or whatever.
And like Braun was they fourth going into the
they were
fourth play.
like, let DeMar DeRozan do that.
Exactly. So what Braun said is when I'm coming in, you're building game one is challenging. Because I know, you see what I'm saying? And
trying to feel you out.
Exactly. So when he said that, I was like, man, listen, he going to the finals. Because from our perspective, new team, you're like, I don't know if you can do it. That let me know where his mindset was at. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming to, but to see them match up, I don't think it made a difference.
Klay Thompson
you can kind of see it coming.
Klay Thompson going to the locker room right now.
Yeah, we Klay Thompson.
That's still not going to matter. Still not going to matter.
You don't know that.
But these are little things that play roles in that game changer. Because the Cavs will win this game.
I hope. Listen, I told you I would like to see the Cavs win just because I feel like the Cavs winning is just better for the NBA.
I'll tell you what, if the Cavs,
I ain't gonna lie to you, it seems weird though because like for that to happen first quarter, hey, all right, one of y'all gotta come out play. Walk to, you know what I'm saying? Like you, him collide, y'all collide. You walk to the locker room, act like you gotta get checked up. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what goes on, what happens, and you can come back out third quarter. You see what I'm saying? Like. Yeah. It could be, but I wouldn't want to think that because that's my ultimate job to want to get there, and I'll be hurt. Yeah. So
Klay might be the first one to go.
I'll be hurt if I have to. It requires an acting class actually. We're playing NBA.
Some people do that really well.
Yeah, I'll be hurt.
All right, we're gonna save the Westbrook talk for the next segment. We're gonna break here. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit of Westbrook, and then we're gonna talk a little bit of hip hop. News of the week: Pusha T versus Drake. Yes. I am here for this hip hop beef. And then a question that Brian posed to me last night via text that I found extremely interesting, and I had a very quick and swift response. And I will have the same response here today on the podcast. We'll talk about that more on the Ain't Hard to Tell podcast.
Sports Guru is the place where fans talk about sports via video. All videos are 60 seconds or shorter. Sports Guru makes the video look more professional and fun by adding automated on-screen graphics. You can follow your favorite sports by team, trending, new, or by people you follow, and more. Type in the title of your video and it will automatically, that's right, auto-magically go into your on-screen graphics. It's just that simple. Tag your teams and publish sports. Let's talk sports.
It ain't hard to tell where to get the latest merchandise from Backpack Broadcasting. Gear is now available via TeePublic. Visit the Backpack Broadcasting TeePublic online store to get shirts, hoodies, mugs, and phone cases. Represent your favorite Backpack Broadcasting shows, including the Sports Walk, Sideline Stories, and of course, the Ain't Hard to Tell podcast. Check out the special offers for our podcast listeners at http://t.pub/lic/backpack. Get in the game with your official Backpack Broadcasting gear today. What's up, listeners?
All right, welcome back. Ain't Hard to Tell podcast, episode 32. Dexter Henry, Brian Fonseca, our guest, Tyreek Jewell, pro basketball player and Nike model.
Hey.
And, as I said before in the last segment, Russell Westbrook fan.
Yes.
I'm going to say this, Tyreek. I'm going to come out real quick and clear on this with Russell Westbrook. I like Russell Westbrook. I'm a fan of Russell Westbrook's game. I think the narrative surrounding Russell Westbrook from a lot of people is quite ridiculous.
It is crazy.
He gets labeled as being selfish. People talk as if they know exactly what's going on in Russell Westbrook's head.
I was with him last week.
He just racks up numbers. He's selfish, but he averages a triple-double where he got 10 plus assists. You can't get 10 plus assists if you're selfish. Assist is about giving.
This isn't in particular to Russell Westbrook, but I mean,
if I assist you,
it's called Rondo assist for a reason.
If I assist you with some water in this cup, Am I being selfish?
You could be fake, yeah. You could be
fake.
technically. No, but I'm saying they're called Rondo assists for a reason because when Rondo was with the Celtics, he would dribble the ball out until there's 4 seconds left on the clock, find a shooter, and just try to get an assist. Because in assists, you get more assists, you get more money. Like, it's not that hard to figure it out.
Assists,
I'm not saying that's the case for Westbrook, although it does appear that way occasionally.
How does it appear that way?
But still.
Like, give me, how does
No, I'm
it
saying,
appear
like,
that
there
way?
are times I've seen him play and then he's dribbling the ball out for a while and then he just passes up.
Hold on.
Second.
When I watch this
I'm not
Westbrook
saying
plays,
that he's
nobody's
selfish,
moving. You ever notice that? You ever watch the
That's
OKC
also true.
threats?
That's
and
also
nobody's
true.
cutting them.
Even that's also true, especially with that Melo ain't moving anywhere.
It's kind of tough,
You know what I mean?
honestly,
Like-
with his game because he attacks. So you don't want to move and cut at the wrong time when somebody attacking. Now you got, you know what I'm saying? And he ain't gonna do nothing but get mad at you. And you probably get something out anyway. So.
Do you hold Billy?
You about to just stand in the corner.
Yeah,
He's
if I ain't making shots, yeah, you're right about that.
Do you hold coaching accountable?
And for OKC?
Yes.
Yes, and if I was Sam
Because I've
Presti,
seen that.
if I was Sam Presti, I would have looked at moving on from Billy Donovan.
I would do that now.
They're not because he already said he's bringing it back.
It's already past that point because we're in June.
Why do you love Tyreek? Why do you love Russell Westbrook? I love Russell Westbrook.
Didn't they call you Indonesian
Yeah,
Westbrook
it's
when you
called
was in
it-
Indonesia?
yeah.
They called you
Yeah, he's called
Indonesian
me
Westbrook,
because I had the little 2 arm sleeves.
and you were wearing 0.
Yeah, number 0. You know.
Junk like him.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
but,
like-
yeah, and I was jacking that. I was promoting that. You know what I'm saying? So I ran with it. But he's my favorite player. But I like him because he comes out, he just plays the game. Like he don't worry about
150
yeah,
I like
like,
that.
all the
but
time.
sometimes
I
you
like
see what I'm
that.
saying? Like I've been in that position sometimes where like I get on the court and I zone out to the point where I start to have a bad game because I'm too like you know what I'm saying? You're
I can
too
see
intense.
that.
Yeah, so and that's what I kind of understand, you know, a lot about Westbrook, but he's athletic and I'm athletic, so I kind of like watch him to see when I can, you know, pick and choose when to use my athleticism, you know. So it's more so of a game like related thing for me, from my understanding, and why I like Westbrook. And also I'm into the fashion stuff too, because you know the modeling aspect. So I pay attention to stuff like that. And then I think it's our own clothing line too, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you like Russell Westbrook's
Why
fashion
not?
style?
Stuff?
Yeah. Oh, why not? And he actually got another one. I actually just subscribed on the email to, you know, keep up with it. But what was your
Do
question?
you like his fashion style?
Oh yeah, I think it's different because it's more so like I'm kind of going through that phase now with my hair. I actually do different hairstyles, and I'm like, if I walk outside, people are gonna be like, "What the?" You know what I'm saying? What is he going? But it's that confidence to know that I'm cute regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like,
See,
you feel me?
I told you. What did I say?
I'm probably
at the
gonna bag
beginning
your
of the
daughter.
podcast?
Like, we're
I
saying,
said
like,
he's a Nike model. Now he's walking down the street with
Yeah, that's swag, but-
when you walk down that street, he's like, "Yo, I'm look good out here."
Nah, but that's
I
true,
walk
though.
down the street.
It's no. It's true though. You actually got a point though, because when you modeling, you have to you in front of a camera.
Yeah,
Usually
you
when
got
you
to.
take cameras, you with your mans and them. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's holding the
Yeah.
phone, they hit you with the picture. You get to see the picture right after you take it. You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
like, nah, delete it. Take
I
another
even
one.
take it a step further.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
When you modeling,
When you
don't
modeling,
see
they
it
like this. You like this, so they might show you the one that was good, and you like, I know I got some, you know, a couple look cock out of the side. Delete those. Make sure y'all get rid of all those. But nah, when you're in front of that camera, you gotta really like you gotta
have that
feel
confidence.
yourself.
You
Yeah,
have to.
you got
Yeah,
to feel
yeah.
yourself.
But that also comes with anything where you're just putting yourself out there in
Yeah, that
general.
is true.
Like
That's a
you
fact.
have to have that kind of confidence in any
To believe in
field.
yourself.
I agree.
Where especially
I agree with
if
that.
you're promoting yourself in social media, like you can't promote yourself if you're not confident in what you do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're a liar.
And the photographer has been gassing me lately. Like I'm trying to no, because now I guess I'm getting so into it, and I'm actually, you know, studying up on like how to better myself as a model. Every time I do a shoot, whether it's basketball or actually just, you know, taking portraits, they get so comfortable and they like, yo, you're like I think it makes their job easier because I know
Because you know what you're
what
doing.
I know their perspective behind the camera now.
Yeah.
So now I know, you feel me, how to pose, and I can feel if that was the money shot. That's what I call the money shots.
What do you think is it's good and fun? I'm glad we talked about this. Now we've gone from Westbrook to modeling, but
Yeah, 'cause it's now-
what do you think that you've learned the most in your time of just short time of modeling? It's only been like a year and a half, but what have you learned about the modeling game besides the fact that your swag is went from like 0 to 100? But like, what have you learned? And we'll get to 0 to 100 with that reference. But yeah. What do you think you've learned?
Far as like I learned a lot far as like, you know, the business standpoint of like, you know, just marketing and actually meeting people, because now you know I'm turning around, I meet a lot of people that's involved with Nike or even just doing their own thing and doing business with Nike. I meet a lot of models, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of talk to people to get their experience of how they got to this point in their life. So most of the models I've been asking like, what was your biggest shoot? Because some of them are signed with agents. I don't have an agency. I'm actually looking for one. So if, you know,
Hey.
yeah, I'm gonna be in your emails. But long story short,
Right.
So I kind of get a vibe of like different personalities and everything. So that kind of makes me expand myself mentally. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it may not be nothing major, but it's still something that I kind of picked up. That, to socialize people, just random people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then most of the models, they say Nike was their biggest shoot.
Right.
And I'm thinking like, damn, like.
Wow.
Because I've been modeling Nike for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I don't have AT, so
that's crazy.
It's a grind, though.
Well,
it definitely is a grind.
And before we get into the other stuff, what's it like just seeing yourself at a Nike store?
Oh, that was.
That's crazy.
That happened.
Yeah.
The first time that happened, like a couple days ago, probably 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. I walked in the store in Soho, and I'm looking, but it's weird because me looking at myself, my hairstyle, my whole aura, it was a whole different mindset and time of my life. So I look at it, I'm like, I don't know how to feel. Like I could have done that differently. I don't know how to feel. Like I seen it before in pictures, but
anyone see you looking at yourself?
I mean, that was kind of weird because I didn't want to be like, you sit there, you start stressing like, yo. But I said my hair was longer now, so if you look at it, you wouldn't even notice. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think you would know. I had a bandana on in the picture that I seen.
Okay.
But there's pictures that I seen that was just by myself, and I didn't get to look at those. But shout out to the people that sent me the pictures for those. But seeing it in person, it was like, I guess that was a form of progress. You know what I'm saying? To show like, yo, you're doing things, you're going places. Like so, whatever that you have, stressing, whatever it is. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's gonna be all right.
Stuff like that is rare. You don't see yourself in the Nike store.
And you appreciated the opportunity.
All right, man. Listen, shout out to Nike, man.
All right. So speaking of appreciating,
don't worry about it.
Speaking about appreciating opportunities in the moment, one thing sounds like we all are appreciating right now is there's a hip hop beef going on. Drake versus Pusha T.
Ooh, this is right in my alley.
I don't know why that feels so personal to me.
To you? Personal.
Yo, no, not to, but
like
right.
one part of it.
No, but it's not like whatever they say is relatable to me, but it's just like it's like I feel like I don't know. All right, Pusha T, his comeback, his response.
Let's start at the beginning, right? So
do we have to?
So
I mean, I feel like everybody
just to go in order. So
because where Tyreek is going, I was like, I know exactly.
So Pusha T's album drops, right?
Okay,
and then later that day, Drake drops his response right in the afternoon.
Duppy freestyle.
Maybe he heard his album a few days earlier because these guys have connections, whatever. He was prepared. He was like, I'm gonna wait till the afternoon. Boom, Duppy freestyle. And I'm not a huge Drake fan. I think he's super talented or whatever. I'm just not a huge Drake fan myself. That was one of the best Drake anythings I've ever heard. Because I love rap, I love bars, and he really brought it on that. I was like, woo! That was one of the best diss songs I've heard in a minute. In a while.
I feel a butt coming on.
Then, no, there's no butt.
There's gotta be a butt, because Pusha T, what?
And then, all right, then, but Pusha T on, what was it, Tuesday night when he came back, and it was super personal. We don't have to get into specifics because,
everybody knows by now.
Yeah, you should know by now.
If you don't know Cliff Notes, Drake.
He got really.
You don't know Drake might have a kid out.
Yes, he got really personal.
You're the first guest to bang the table like Brian.
I'm sorry. It's me being myself.
That's Brian all the time.
But he got really I just did it right now. He just got really personal.
No, but that's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Drake. I love Drake. I love everything he's doing as far as the business standpoint and everything.
No, I respect
all the other stuff that I don't know about. Obviously, what Pusha T's putting out there.
Yeah.
Pusha T. I know I kind of grew up, knowing about him too. But he was kind of, doing what he was doing, dipping down.
Yeah. This is you know what I want to say? This is one of the
Grinding came out when I was 7 or 8.
This is maybe one of the bigger rap feuds we've seen with people from two different generations.
But they both beasts. That's
they're both. Yeah,
we know that we're both known.
And no disrespect to Meek Mill or the Meek Mill fans out there. Pusha already showed. Pusha already showed. He wasn't gonna be Meek Mill here.
Yeah, but you know why it's different? Because he the one. He came
he's the one that initiated it.
Yeah, at this time.
And Meek Mill was on tour when he got this. People forget that.
But hey, like I said,
it's hard to get off tour.
Meek, you can't Meek win regardless. So that's nothing to bring back up. But this Pusha T situation, like I said, he came for him and then he responded, and then Drake dropped a little "I'm upset" joint,
that was whack.
Tape. He was whack, right?
I'm not feeling that track.
I like the vibe of it.
I played Duppy over
the beats are cool.
No, my perspective of it, I like the vibe of it from it coming from his next album.
Yeah, because the single.
So I'm like, I know you gotta have heat.
It has nothing to do with the beat. It has nothing to do with that. It's a single.
No, but see, at this point, Drake is at this point in his career, he can put out anything and people's gonna vibe to it. The Nice for What? I didn't really.
I don't know if that's a good.
You didn't like Nice for What?
The content of it. Yes,
I actually like Nice for What, but you could, how I like my music, and you could probably tell listening to that. And you could probably tell listening to that. You could probably tell like I would like something like that because the sample was really cool. He's actually rapping.
Nah, I just feel like it was for females. That's probably what it is.
But I like that.
Yeah.
Nah,
I thought the message was great in that song. I like that song. It's good. It's got that
the
New Orleans
females, you gotta
bounce.
give females their own thing too. Everything ain't gotta be split between
Right,
male and female.
definitely,
Yeah, nah, they got
definitely.
that. That's why that was the. But I can hear it, if I'm
But here,
bobbing.
we're all missing
Okay.
the real thing here.
Bring us up to speed. Let's go.
Pusha came with the story of Adidon, and as Tyreek said, he came and let y'all know that he's got a kid that he may or may not be taken care of. It appears that he's been
His kid is being well taken care of. That's why we had to find out through Pusha.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know what I should say? He's covered it up, right? Or at least to the point that he's covering it up, or the way Pusha's saying now that he would have. It's funny to bring this up. This comes back full circle to you. The plan was for him to unveil his son through an Adidas marketing campaign, secret campaign, and we know how you feel about Adidas.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it at that. But what you talked about your reaction to W Freestyle, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about the timeline here. Tyreek, when you heard story added on, what was your face like?
Well, added on to
to what he said.
Yeah,
But when you heard Pusha T's last diss, the story added on.
I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I was stuck because I came in the room. My uncle was like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like, what you doing? He like this, and I'm looking like. So he was locked in.
Finger over his mouth for
so he
people
plays
listening.
it back. So the first time I heard it was actually from he like this is playing, and I'm like, I'm stuck. I'm like, oh, like so this is not just like let me say something and let you say something. This is like I'm saying stuff that you are trying to hide, and if I'm saying in the mix of the culture. Because he's pretty much messing up Drake's marketing plan right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like damn.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Beat selection,
but that's part of the beat. You see what I'm saying? Because he's saying something about that. He's kind of trying to disturb more about bring let that what he said, let that girl be your West. He was saying
that girl be your world.
Yeah, whatever. And it was like damn, it makes you feel like Drake not like that. He's not out here doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I personally don't care.
Right.
But I'm saying as far as the beef, the point of it actually saying that it was just so. At this point, like I said, it's personal to me because now I just feel like anytime a song come out, I'm waiting to hear some wildness. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're talking about on parts of Drake responding?
Yeah, I want to see how he's going to respond.
He's going to respond?
Look, I had a conversation.
You can't. Like,
I had
he's better.
Okay,
You got to.
You're saying that he has to. Why do you think that he has to respond?
Honestly, in my perspective, I'm saying he has to, as far as for the sake of the beef. Like we want
his
more.
own pride. Also,
I know. I'm not saying
is it on that? Is it like somebody came at you this way, you can't?
No, I'm saying it from perspective of we want more. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
As far as him having to respond. Listen, Drake didn't even have to respond to the first. He could have just brushed it up. Man, listen, we in different tax brackets. He could have he could have said whatever he wanted to say, but like I said, I think for the sake of the beef and the culture, that we want more. That's all.
Yeah, you can't leave it at that.
Man.
Now, here's
after all that, you can't just leave it at that.
I've heard a lot of people talk about this, and I spoke with a friend about this, and she was like, "Yo, he's got to respond." And at first, I was like, "I don't know if he really has to." The more I think about it, too, I'm like, "Yo, when somebody says that about you, and you hit on this, you said that it messes up his marketing plan." No, you said it messed up his marketing plan, and he's got an album dropping on the 18th of June. Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, think about it. If somebody said this about you. You know that anything you do for your press tour, anywhere you go, somebody's going to come to you and be like, yo, so, Pusha came at your mom's. He said this about your son.
That's true.
Like, either you can diffuse it and say nothing, but then you can't really go and do any interviews. You can't be sitting down here like you are with us.
Nah, but at that point in your career, you could pick and choose who you want to be. Like, he could go to a show and not have to talk to nobody. But
it's true.
But it's entourage.
But now, that's true. Everybody in the hip-hop community of hip-hop fans are looking at like, you need to do this with bars. The only way out of this is bars. You can't be a dismissive. You have to come with bars.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's more so people looking at it like we know what you're capable of, as far as you know what I'm saying. So it's like
Drake can rap.
Yeah, but we're expecting. It's not even us saying that you have to. We're expecting him to honestly, respond, and so because we want to see what he's gonna say.
If he doesn't respond, you're disappointed.
Yes. The sake of for the beef part, because it was so quick. It'd be like a snippet. Like they gave us a preview of a beef, and it was like that's it. Like now we gotta go back.
It's been good though.
But think about it.
I mean, we gotta appreciate it.
But he would let Pusha. That means you're letting Pusha start this and finish it. You're letting him have the last word too?
Oh my God!
Somebody's got to finish something though.
All that personal.
Yeah, everything got to come to an end.
Somebody's got to come to an end.
I don't know how.
Is it that people don't want it to be Drake to come to an end because he's regarded?
Yeah, they always want to see you. They always want to see the top. Like my coach Breaker said, they want you. They want to see you here. They want to see you. They want to see this. Like they want you to. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean that's up to you how you respond to things. Like I said, he didn't have to respond, and it wouldn't have been this deep into it. But
he took the bait
because I feel like he took the bait because he had ammo. You feel me? Ammo to come back. That's my perspective.
Oh, you better have ammo to come. What I'm saying is, Pusha clearly had ammo. This was calculated by Pusha.
I think both of them have.
Now, here's the thing. Let me ask you guys one last thing. Do you think Drake has to respond in a certain time frame? We heard the story of Adidon drop on Tuesday. Does Drake have to? Push took 3 days to drop his disc.
This will drop Friday, so maybe he drops it
on Friday.
Do
you think that Drake has to do something pretty quickly, or should he take his time and do this, a la Nas did with Ether?
Honestly, it depends on his whole marketing. My perspective, his marketing plan. Like if I was in Drake's shoes, I probably would have dropped the campaign on my son and then rapped about how my son just made 200,000 or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah. Drake's gonna hit us like y'all.
Here's the thing. So, what's it called? His album's coming out late in June. That other dude is coming out with an album on Friday. We're not gonna say his name. You know who I'm talking about? Pusha T's producer on his last project. He's dropping his own solo project that's coming out, right?
Mr. West.
That's coming out on Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
So. What I think Drake is going to do is kind of go through the same formula. Just release his response probably Friday afternoon, and deter kind of, the buzz that's going to come out from everybody who's claiming they're not going to support Mr. West and end up supporting him anyway.
Nah, you know what's crazy? When you hear music, like these days people make up their mind and they hear music, and they're like this.
I ain't listening to that album.
But that's the thing. It's a lot of listen. You can't do that because you're taking away from. Yeah, I mean, you can't.
I was like, you can.
And I will.
Like, far as you talking about for not listening to Kanye's album?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's different. But I'm saying, all right. So what if Kanye produced somebody else? You're not gonna want to listen.
Oh, I listened to the Nas one.
Oh, all right, cool. So,
I listened to the Pusha T one, but
yeah.
But here's my thing, and I said this before. I don't think Kanye's made a good song in 8 years, but I'm talking about his own music.
So he's produced. What if his tape is? What
if I hear Kanye's tape?
It's 3 bangers.
If I hear that it's fire,
every time you go outside, they like, yo, Kanye you heard a Kanye song, and you like, nah, but I'm not listening to it.
Nah, I don't care because I got good music on my,
So you're not gonna check it out?
Nah, I don't have to.
Either, to be honest,
I don't have to. I could. Well, if I listen to it at one point, I'm gonna make sure that if I do, that I'm not supporting it. So I'll make sure that I'll get Matt's phone.
I heard it.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're gonna make Matt support it? That's messed up without his choice.
Matt don't care.
It's his account.
It's his account.
Anyway, speaking of Kanye, had a lot of stuff that was ignorant. Somebody made some ignorant comments this week. We had another video submission.
That's right. Two good ones.
Video submissions today.
2 very good ones.
This comes from our friend Nicole. Watch the show. She had this to ask us about Roseanne Barr's comments that were deemed to be racist and a cancellation of a show on ABC.
Hey Dexter, hey Brian. So I hope you guys recently heard about Roseanne Barr getting her show on ABC canceled because of some racist comments she made on Twitter. I want to know your hot take about it because there have been people claiming that it is straight up racist and some that have claimed that it's not due to the fact that she compared said woman to animated characters from the Planet of the Apes movies, therefore it doesn't count as racism. I also want to know what you guys think if it's a double standard. People have pointed out that, liberal or democratic, if you will, TV shows, movies, talk show hosts, etc., have called out or made fun of conservative or, Republican people, points of views, things like that. So I want to know if you guys think it's contradictory that ABC canceled her show because she said thing on Twitter or not. Let me know what you guys think.
Thanks, Nicole, for that question. What I have to say to that, guys, is look.
Nicole, who, by the way, I helped her out with her web series in 2016, Civil the web series. You should go check that out on YouTube.
Yeah, well, Brian has an acting appearance. I told you, please check that out. Brian was acting in that. I find it hilarious.
It was easy. I was playing an Yeah, I can say it, right?
Yeah, you're playing an ass.
Yeah, I was playing an ass.
It's pretty easy for you.
I was gonna say yeah, so I was like, it's very easy.
Even Matt's smiling because he's like, yeah, I know.
It's very short.
That's what.
But I also helped out with some other like aspects of it. But yeah.
But Nicole brings up this question about, is it hypocritical of ABC to cancel the show? And to some degree, I think that is an interesting question, right? What Roseanne said about Obama's former aide, comparing her to Planet of the Apes monkeys, absolutely racist, no doubt about it. But ABC, when they
Tyreek didn't know about this.
We're breaking news for you.
Yeah.
You're so caught up in the Pusha T and Drake.
Life is mixed up.
I get it, man. When you hear that happen, but ABC had to know what they were getting with Roseanne to some degree. Roseanne has made racist comments before, and if you didn't know, Tyreek, she's said different comments before, very supportive of number 45. She one time wore a Hitler costume, which is it's obviously extremely offensive to the Jewish community.
Taken aback by that.
So my thing is, before they rebooted Roseanne and brought the show back last fall, they knew who this person was. I'm not saying that ABC didn't do the right thing in firing her. I'm just saying that they knew who they were getting. And was I shocked when I saw these comments by Roseanne? No. I laughed when she also blamed her racist commentary on Ambien. Shout out to Ambien for the best tweet. My tweet of the week, which segment will be starting soon, and just responding that they said, we are not aware that Ambien, one of the side effects is racism. And I loved it. I thought that was a great tweet back at her. So
Twitter's working now.
Oh yeah, Twitter was out.
You check it all day.
We're not going to spend too much. We're not going to spend too much time on Roseanne, but I think that I think ABC knew what they was getting. I don't think it's a double standard to answer Nicole when you see liberals make jokes about conservatives. People are going to make fun of each other on other sides of the platform, no matter what political stance you're on. Yeah. But I don't think that's the same as spewing hatred or racist rhetoric. I think those are two different things. So I think anybody coming with that argument that, what about when people make jokes on this side?
Yeah. It's different because normally it's like it's normally like they're saying, they being liberals or whatever, calling other people from the other side unethical or stupid. And I love calling people stupid when they're stupid. Things like that. But it's not the same as calling you. Yes. I don't even want to give another example of what Roseanne said.
Any hateful, racist word.
Yeah, but basically, it's again, with ABC, you knew what you were getting into. Part of the reason you brought her in, I feel like, was to kind of appeal to that base to show, hey, yes, we're Disney, but we could also kind of touch base everywhere. You see what I see? We could appeal to everyone and have versatility in our programming and not just appeal to one side or the other. Because remember, they own ESPN, and a lot of conservatives call ESPN liberal media just because not everybody is running around there and championing 45 like Fox News does. So I think that with Roseanne, you should know what you're getting into. But they acted on it, and it is what it is. I'm glad that they did what they did.
Anybody here gonna miss the show?
No, I wasn't gonna watch it. And did you see the number? Well, we already established that. Nick at Night when you're waiting for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to come on when you're 8 years old and they're giving the reruns, you don't know what you're watching, and whatever. But Roseanne's not funny. But you saw the numbers that it got, upon its return, the ratings. I was like, all right, man.
Not surprised at that at all.
Most of the people put their TV on and don't watch it, to be honest with you.
No.
It could have been on the channel.
Although I would think that most of the people watching Roseanne are probably NFL fans.
I would say that too. All right, we're gonna break. Well, not break. We're going to wrap this show up. Brian, real quick. Brian had a question for me that he texted me the other night.
So I was on the subway. I was on the subway, and then I saw, kids sell candy on the subway or whatever. And then, and I'm knocking it, knocking the hustle, but, Showtime and all that, that's cool. You grow up around it. But he's like, I'm just a young entrepreneur trying to make a little dollar, whatever. So then I asked Dexter, I texted him, I was like, because I randomly text you about I randomly text him trying to get his thoughts on things. So I'm like, yo, what do you think of the kids on the subway selling candy, calling themselves entrepreneurs? And his response was that they're not. And that was it.
Because they're not. They're not. Like, Tyreek? What do you think? You remember? Did you ever have to sell candy for your basketball team?
Nah, I couldn't.
Okay.
I couldn't picture. I couldn't picture doing that. But from my perspective, I say like maybe they do something on the side. They just need a little quick cash, so they consider themselves an entrepreneur type. But in the heat of that moment, no, you're not an entrepreneur. Like,
you're not an entrepreneur.
It's innocent hustling. That's
it is. And you're not an entrepreneur if you're doing something that every other kid's doing. Any trade, any time in New York City, somebody else is doing. Yo, you're not an entrepreneur.
You said something before we got on that shocked me, though.
Which was?
That you've done that before.
Yeah, I have. I'm sorry.
That was crazy. I was like, I can't picture that.
16-year-old Dexter, whatever, was not
kind of candy you had?
Yo, I had what's the chocolate bars? They had the white bars with like the silver wrapping, and it had like the white joint around it. Yo, my New York City heads, you know what it was, because I also sold these for to raise funds for my senior trip. I remember that too in high school.
This is amazing.
I sold these. Listen, somebody who watched my podcast and went to Claire Barr with me knows what I'm talking about.
High school, yeah.
But other schools sold this. He had 3 different chocolates. One had like the nuts in it. One was plain. Another was something else. I don't remember.
Damn.
But yeah, you know who got most of my candy? Family. I'll tell you what I wasn't selling. I wasn't walking up and down the train like, yo, I'm an entrepreneur. Yo, buy these chocolates. Like, I wasn't doing that.
Yo, that's crazy. I can't even picture that.
You're trying to picture me? Picture me selling it. Not on the train. Because Dexter wasn't doing that.
Hold on. I want to analyze this a little bit because you know how I am. So
we're almost out of time.
When you go on the train, and this is the year what, 2000?
Yeah, 2000, 2001.
All right. So do you get on the front of the car and do you do like, do you have the box here? Do you wait for the doors to close and then you give your speech and then you go?
Here's what I'm trying to say to you. I never did this on the train.
Oh.
Yeah,
the most I ever did on the train was I had there was a box I used to have and it had like M&Ms and Snickers. This was another separate candy I sold for my senior trip. M&Ms and Snickers. And what I remember was sometimes you would just have the box and people would know that you'd be like, yo, and it was yo, you selling candy? I'm like, yeah, how much for M&Ms? Like, okay. Sometimes your parents.
So you did it the cool way.
I just chilled. I put the box in my lap. It's right in front of you.
Yeah,
they'll see it.
Chilled.
You know what I mean? But you also don't want to be too upfront and out there because when you ride in certain places, you know this.
Yeah.
You don't want to be out there handling money. You got to put the candy down. That's how you get got.
Yeah.
And when you grow up in New York City, you knew how to be careful on certain places, certain trains. Not that I was going through like the worst areas ever, but when you're on the train, you need to be aware of your surroundings. So that's why I wasn't trying to be an entrepreneur on the train.
So how'd you do that? Like,
how'd you get sell?
How'd you get stuck doing that?
Stuck doing it?
Yeah, like did they tell you, yo, Dex, we need money for the ball team?
Yeah, so it was like raising funds for the basketball team.
So you actually did it for basketball?
Like, yeah, I actually did. Yeah, for
you never kept any of the money for yourself?
No. The only thing I kept for myself was doing when I did it for raising funds for my senior trip. That money I kept for myself. It went to the school, kept an account for you, everybody that raised their funds to put towards your senior dues or senior trip. And it really helped people in the school, not necessarily me, but it was for anybody. But if you really couldn't afford to pay for the senior trip or your senior dues, this was a way to grind and try to make the money. I wouldn't call that person entrepreneur. I just call him hustling.
Yeah, hustling.
That's what Tyreek said.
I thought, but I was expecting, Dexter would be like, get on the subway, have the speech with the box out.
I look like at any point in my life, I was like, I'm Dexter, I'm playing for Clay Barr in high school basketball team. The way I would do it, Tyreek, is I'd just be like, yo, man, I would just be straight up about it. I'd be like, yo.
Were you also 6'2" at the time?
By my junior year, I was. So, yeah, I would have just said, we need this money.
We need this money.
Yo, we need this money. Two chocolates for $4 or whatever they was going for, and that's it. Like, yo, you trying to buy this chocolate or not?
That's it.
So you were not selling the chocolate on the train?
Nah, I never had to encounter.
You didn't sell any chocolate at all?
I don't.
Y'all whack.
How you that gonna be that chocolate?
I'm trying to think of what I sold ever. I ain't got nothing for you really. Like,
I was like, where you going? Don't say
he's a drug.
Nah. All right, we're gonna wrap it on this. I'm the only person here that has sold some chocolate to raise some funds while in school.
I'm pretty sure you go around the whole block, you be the only person on the block. It's rare.
What? It's rare?
That's kind of like a rare thing. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. My high school didn't have a gym, and I didn't have to do that. So I'm thinking,
So I can see that.
Yeah,
It's all perspective, right? It all depends.
Yeah.
All right, so you avoid that. You know, if you're chocolate, we want to thank you for coming on. We want to wish you best of luck going forward in your basketball career.
Yep.
And everybody, they can find your Crown Jewel clothing.
Yeah.
Check out your modeling on Nike.
My Instagram, crown_jewel is my Instagram. Official Crown Jewel is my clothing line Instagram. Facebook, Tyreek Jewell. Everything else is my contact. I don't use Twitter. Maybe I should start. I see this guy actually likes it, so I'll start using it. But
Twitter's
the website is officialcrownjewel.com. You could go on the website, check out the merch and all that. And I got stuff to come.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Jewell.
We should say that. Yes.
Jewell.
All right, that's our guest, Tyreek Jewell, second professional athlete to ever come on the A Hard to Tell podcast. That's it for episode 32 for our producer, Matthew Feniza, and his Karl Malone episode for Brian Fonseca. Tyreek Jewell, I'm Dexter Henry. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
49-40 Cleveland up in the second quarter.
Clay twisted his knee.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even check the update.
Clay's back. That's easy. Yeah, that's all right there.
He twisted. He fell.
Yeah, that's
No, how happy